73% of enterprise data strategies fail within 18 months. Not because the technology is wrong. Because leadership never aligned on what data success actually looks like. And by the time you realize it, you've already spent millions on infrastructure nobody trusts. Here's what happens. You sit in a board meeting. The chief data officer presents a beautiful roadmap. Cloud migration. Real-time analytics. AI-powered insights. Everyone nods. Budget gets approved. Teams spin up. 6 months in, the data warehouse is built. But the business units aren't using it. The model drift nobody predicted is killing model accuracy. Your data engineers are firefighting instead of innovating. And the CFO is asking why you're spending more than you planned with less to show for it. The problem isn't data. It's that nobody defined success before you started building. You optimized for the wrong things. You built for scale when you needed to build for speed. You chose cloud because it was trendy, not because it solved an actual problem. And somewhere along the way, your data strategy became a technology project instead of a business transformation. In the next 9 minutes, we're going to show you exactly where most organizations derail, and the 3-part framework that fixes it. This isn't theoretical. Every principle we're going to walk through comes from organizations that transformed their data operations and actually moved the needle on revenue, efficiency, and competitive advantage. We're going to show you the alignment trap that kills most strategies before launch. We'll walk through the infrastructure decision framework that prevents the common cloud blunders. And we'll give you the measurement architecture that tells you if your data strategy is actually working. By the end, you'll have a diagnostic tool you can apply to your own organization this week. The alignment trap. Why data strategies break at the executive table. Recent research from 2025 shows that 64% of data transformation failures trace back to misaligned stakeholder definitions of success. One side of the table is optimizing for data quality and governance. The other is optimizing for speed to insight. Finance wants cost control. Business units want access and flexibility. Nobody's actually wrong. They're just measuring different things. Here's the pattern we see. Company decides to modernize their data infrastructure. They hire a talented chief data officer or bring in a consulting firm. A 6-month roadmap gets drafted. But the roadmap is built on technical assumptions, not business outcomes. Will this data initiative help us acquire customers faster? Will it reduce churn? Will it improve margin on our core product? Those questions never get answered before the project starts. Real example. A financial services firm we tracked spent 18 months and $4 million building a cloud data lake. Technically excellent. But when they asked the business units to migrate their reporting to it, the adoption rate was 22%. Why? Because the initial alignment conversation didn't include the people who would actually use it. The engineering was built for centralization and governance. The business units needed federation and speed. Nobody mapped that gap before the shovels went in the ground. How you fix it? Before you design architecture, design alignment. 30 days before any technical workstream starts, run a structured outcome discovery process. Get the CFO, the Chief Revenue Officer, and the Chief Operating Officer in a room. Define 3 metrics that matter most to the business for the next 2 years. Not technology metrics, business metrics. Market share, customer lifetime value, operational efficiency. Then build your data strategy backward from those targets. Your infrastructure gets chosen because it serves those outcomes, not the other way around. The infrastructure paradox. Building for the problem you actually have. not the one you imagine. Most organizations overshoot on infrastructure complexity. 2026 data from leading cloud adoption studies shows that 41% of companies migrating to cloud environments significantly overestimate their scalability requirements in years 1 and 2. They architect for a trillion-row data lake when they need 100 billion-row operational data store. This happens because there's a bias toward building for the theoretical future instead of the immediate present. The conversation goes like this. We need to be ready for exponential growth. We need the flexibility to handle any use case. We need enterprise-grade security and compliance from day one. All true. But when you optimize for all of those things simultaneously, you end up with infrastructure that's overly complex, expensive to maintain, and slow to deliver business value. The real cost isn't the cloud bill. It's the opportunity cost while your team is managing complexity. They're not building the data models that drive decisions. They're not building the analytics that generate competitive advantage. They're building plumbing. Example. A retail organization we worked with migrated from on-premise data warehousing to a multi-cloud architecture with 17 different data integration tools. The architecture was theoretically perfect, but it required specialists in each tool ecosystem. When a data analyst needed to build a simple customer segmentation model, it took 6 weeks to provision the right access, migrate the right data, and get it into the right format. The competitor, using a simpler, more opinionated stack, delivered the same insight in 4 days. Here's how to fix it. Use the simplicity first principle. Start with a single authoritative platform. Pick cloud or on-premise based on your actual needs today, not your fantasy scaling scenario. If your organization generates 5 terabytes of data annually, you don't need a petabyte scale architecture. You need a well-designed, maintainable system that can grow intentionally when the demand is real, not theoretical. Complexity is a cost, simplicity is a competitive advantage. Choose simplicity until you have proof you need more. The measurement inversion. How most organizations track everything except what matters. Here's the hidden problem with most data strategies. They measure inputs and outputs, but they don't measure outcomes. They track data quality scores. They monitor query performance. They measure uptime and security posture. All important. But they never answer the question that matters. Is this data strategy actually changing what the business can do? According to 2025 research on enterprise data governance, 82% of organizations with formal data strategies lack a clear connection between data initiatives and business outcomes. They have data dashboards. They have governance frameworks. But they can't point to a single revenue decision that was materially different because of their data investment. This happens because measurement is usually delegated to the data team. The data team measures what it can control. System uptime, data freshness, query latency, model accuracy. But those are hygiene metrics. They're necessary, not sufficient. Real example. A software as a service organization built an impressive real-time analytics platform. Every metric looked perfect. 99.9% uptime. Data freshness measured in minutes. Beautiful dashboards. 6 months after launch, the VP of product asked a simple question. How many product decisions changed because of this platform? The answer was basically 0. Why? Because the business units didn't know what decisions the data could actually inform. The platform was built in isolation. It was never connected to the decision-making processes it was supposed to enable. How to fix it? Map backward from decision to data. Start with a specific business decision. Let's say you're deciding whether to enter a new geographic market. What data do you need to make that decision well? Customer demand signals, competitive intensity, unit economics in similar markets, sales velocity by region. Now, which of that data can you actually collect and model? Build your measurement framework around those decision dependencies, not around technical metrics. If your data initiative isn't changing a specific decision, you haven't built a data strategy. You've built a data project. Here's what this looks like when it works. You're sitting in a quarterly business review. The Chief Revenue Officer brings a question. Should we expand the enterprise sales team in the Asia-Pacific region or grow channel partnerships instead? Normally, that's a gut call. This time, it's not. Your data organization has already modeled both scenarios. They've pulled historical conversion patterns. They've analyzed market saturation in comparable regions. They've built a financial model showing expected payoff curves for each approach. The decision gets made faster. It gets made with more confidence. The outcome is measurably better. That's not luck. That's the result of designing a data strategy that starts with business outcomes, builds infrastructure that's right-sized for the problem, and measures success by whether decisions are actually getting better. Your data team stops being a cost center. They become a strategic function. Your infrastructure becomes an asset instead of a burden. And your competitive advantage crystallizes around how quickly and accurately you can make decisions relative to your market. That's the difference between having data and being a data-driven organization. If your organization is in the middle of a data strategy right now. Thanks for listening. If you found this valuable, please subscribe to Apex Minds D4J for more powerful insights. See you in the next one.